on this week's Parshas וירא, something very nice from the Rebbe's father, Rebbe Yitzchok Zatzal. In the end of this week's Parsha, we have the famous story of the akedah, the binding of Yitzchok. And it says that the Malach came to Yitzchok, to Avraham Avinu twice. First he told him, Chas v'sholom, you shouldn't kill your son. I only wanted to test you. And then it says, he came to him again the second time, and he made an oath with him, Binish Baiti. And he gave him a big bracha to all your children, and it finishes off, ekev asher Shema'at b'Koli, because you listened to my voice, you listened to what I asked you to do with the akedah. So the simple meaning is that ekev asher Shema'at b'Koli, because you listened in this particular case of the binding of Yitzchok, the akedah, that's why you're going to be rewarded with all these brachas. Rabbi Yitzchok has a very interesting different pshat, or an additional pshat in the words that ekev asher Shema'at b'Koli, because you listened to me. It says the word ekev, ayin kuv beis. In Parshas Toldos, right in the beginning, also we have the Eibishter gave Yitzchok brachas, and then he told him, "I'm going to give you a lot of brachas. You know why? Ekev, because asher shama AVROHOM b'Koli, because AVROHOM heard in my voice," and he continues, he listened to all my mitzvahs. Here it's not referring to just the akedah, it's referring to all the mitzvahs. The Gemara in Nidorim daf lamed beis amar aleph, the Gemara says that from these words, ekev asher shama AVROHOM b'Koli, it's a hint that by 3 years old, Avraham Avinu recognized Hashem. Hikir is boiroi. If you take the word ekev, says the Gemara, ayin kuv beis 172, adds up to 172, and Avraham Avinu lived till 175. So ekev, going on the years of 172 years, he listened to me, he listened to Hashem, he followed my mitzvahs. By 3 years old, he came to recognize the Eibishter, explored that there's a Eibishter in the world. Now, by the akedah, so that's that Parsha told us. In our Parsha, by the akedah, how old was Avraham Avinu? According to most Mefarshim, he was 137. When he was 100, he had Yitzchok, and then Yitzchok was 37 by the akedah, as we know. Also in Parshas Toldos, when he was 40, he married Rivka, and Rivka was 3 years old. She was born by the akedah. So Yitzchok was 37, so Avraham Avinu was 137 by the akedah. So he wasn't yet the age 172. Well, over there in Parshas Toldos, it's referring to after Avraham Avinu's life. Over there, it says a chumash, and this is what the Gemara expounds in the Nidorim. The 172 years, ekev shama b'Koli, listen to Hashem, he did the mitzvahs. In our Parsha, he was only 137. But says Rabbi Yitzchok, he wants to connect the ekev over here in Parshas Vayera with referring to the akedah Parsha, even though Avraham Avinu was 137, with the ekev, which is referring to in Parshas Toldos. We over there, we're talking about the whole 172 years was after Avraham Avinu passed away. And the Eibishter says he listened to me for 172 years of his life. Ekev, Shama b'Koli, number ekev, 172. Also over here, says Rabbi Yitzchok, through the akedah, Avraham Avinu got a bracha that he's going to listen to Hashem ekev all his life, 172. And this is referring to a medrash. It explains the whole parish over here. The medrash says in the Medrash Rabbah Perik Nun Vov in Sif Yud Aleph, the medrash says, why was over here another oath, Binish Paiti? Why was the second oath that the Malach came to tell Avraham Avinu? Says the medrash, Avraham Avinu asked the Eibishter, please don't test me again. This was a very challenging test, the whole akedah, and I listened to you. I was devoted to you. And Hashem gave a shvua, I'm not going to give you a test anymore. You know why? Because when you, Avraham Avinu, passed the test of the akedah, I see that you cemented your relationship so strong with me that now I know for sure we'll never separate one from another. So from the akedah came the bracha, came the bond, the unity of Avraham Avinu so deep with Hashem that ekev, that's when his entire life, the 172 years, he was blessed to always listen to Hashem. But where did he get that strength from? When was it sealed, that relationship? Was this week's parsha of the Akedah. And that's what the Torah is hinting of it. Ekev Asheshama B'Koili, that one or ekev 172, what I'm referring to in the Gemara over there in the Nidorim of Lamed Beis, which is referring to the pasuk in Parshas Toldos, which Abraham told Yitzchok, but also over here in this week's parsha, through the Akedah, it was ekev years, 172 years that you listened to me, because this is the moment that our relationship was so sealed, strongly bonded, cemented so deeply, that you'll never separate my relationship to you. And that was the shvu. Hashem said, no, I don't, this is an oath. I see that we're bonded together forever. So you see the simple meaning of the verse is, ekev, because you listened to me with Akedah. Comes Rabbi Yitzchok and says a deeper pshat. The ekev over here is referring to the 172 years that Avraham listened to the Eibishter, and even though he was only here 137, but over here it bonded, it sealed the relationship in the strongest way possible, and that's why he got all these wonderful brachas.